Hi everybody, welcome to Konasana Yoga and Fitness. I'm Alexandra Legouix. How are you all? I hope you're okay and not going completely out of your minds during this crazy time. I've had some real up and down days actually, which for me is really rare. But yeah, I know I'm not the only person who's feeling it. Normally I feel really on top of things, but I'd say that actually I'm alright today, but a couple of days ago I was like mind blown. So yes, I'm sure I'm not alone in that feeling, and I definitely have noticed a few other people around me going, yeah, life has suddenly got just that little bit more confusing. Anyway, enough chit chat. I released the beginners video onto YouTube a few days ago, and during that video I talk about the fact that my wrists are really weak. Even though I do loads of yoga, in theory they should be really strong, but they're not. And I know that the reason why they're not very strong and stuff is because I actually don't do a lot to strengthen them, and I don't stretch them. It's a little bit like flossing my teeth. I know that I should be doing that every day, but I don't do that either. So I thought that with that in mind, not only would this help you, but it would remind me and help me too. Alright? So this is for you, Nushin in particular. She sent me a message saying, I have exactly the same problem, but I have absolutely no idea what exercises to do, so please can you help me? So we shall warm up and strengthen the wrists. Alright, start off just simply opening and closing the fingers, nice and wide, really stretch the fingers wide. What you will hear me constantly throughout my videos is make sure the fingers are stretched nice and wide. If you imagine that the more we can take up space with our fingers, the wider that space area is. So stretching between the fingers is really important, and making the most of all of these strong muscles down the fingers and into the palms. They're the sorts of things that are going to make the rest of your yoga much, much stronger. It works all the way up into the arms as well. So I'm very good personally at keeping my fingers stretched and doing that, but I just don't strengthen the actual wrists enough. So starting to circle into the wrists one way and the other way, nice and loose. And then just give them a really good shake. Totally let them go, let the muscles in the fingers go completely. Alright, cross the fingers. Start to draw their forearms together and just start to circle again one way and the other way. Keep mobilizing. Good. Alright, turn the palms towards me, and what I want you to do is really feel this part stretch. So we're not just simply stretching, just leaving them. Push into those fingers, push those fingers away from you. Feel that stretch into those muscles all the way down. You might need to, notice that I'm resetting every now and then. So on my fingers, so my mum actually has really bad arthritis in her fingers, and I know already that a couple of my fingers are starting to just get a little bit gnarly, and I can feel that as I do this. I can feel that, particularly that knuckle area. So I know that means, like, there's a big difference, isn't there, between some proper pain and muscular stretch. So just be aware of that too. Alrighty, turn the palm away from you, fingers down towards the floor, and just take hold of those fingers and ease those fingers back towards your body. Drop the shoulder now, feeling a nice long stretch all the way down into those hip flexors. Good, shake that hand off, get ready for the other side. So for me, I know that this one is much tighter. Breathing, just drawing those fingers back, strengthen down the arm, drop the shoulder, breathing down into this stretch. Get that thumb involved as well. Good, keep going. A few more breaths. All right, cross the arms over. Turn and clasp the wrists. Start to circle them one way and the other. Wiggle them. Good. Just mobilise, clicking and cracking. Lots of clicking and cracking going on. Good. Open, cross the other way. Crisscross. Again, clicking. Creaking, clicking. It's easier that way for me. Good. Again, shake them out. Give the arms a roll as well. All right. Draw the palms together. Turn the palms in towards you. Push. Keep the fingers together. Keep the palms together, but just try and ease the arms out and away from you. Breathe. Imagine that you're trying to get the fingers in towards your chest. Elbows are nice and high. We're not dropping them down, so get them high. Fingers in towards the chest. Now, keep your right hand, I'll mirror you, right fingers in towards the sternum. Take the left hand away. Take hold of the opposite elbow. Push that palm all the way over. This is quite a nice stretch. It's quite difficult to get into, but it's quite good. My apologies to anyone who has rather large breasticles, because that's basically pushing into them. Okay, draw the palms back together. Left fingers go into the sternum. Draw that arm across. Take hold of the elbow. I'm much tighter on this. This is my right, you're on your left, but yeah, I can really feel it much more on this side. Much less mobility. Good, a few more breaths. Shake it out again. Take your right hand up to the sky, crossed over, taking a stretch. Good, so we're stretching into the tricep as well, just to keep the stretch going all the way up the arm, all the way up to the shoulder. So imagine that all of our muscles are connected, one by one by one. Good, change onto the other side. Stretch. Relax the muscles into the wrists and the fingers as well while you're here. Focus the stretch into the tricep. Keep breathing. Good. All right, so coming on to all fours. Now, or onto kneeling, wherever it works for you. So first of all, place your hands down onto the floor, normal. Now, I want you to really, really stretch your fingers wide, okay? Just placing a little bit of effort onto the hands, not too much though. Stretch the fingers nice and wide. So what I want you to imagine is that you're pushing into the thumbs, well, all of the pads basically. Keep the fingers stretched nice and wide. Push in particular into the thumb and the little finger, alrighty? Thumb, little finger, push down deep. And then also push into this padded area between the thumb and the first finger. Push into that area there. Okay, start to move, circle one way. Keep pushing the floor away. And take it the other way. Keep breathing. Good, come back to center. Move forward and back. Keep going. Keep those fingers pushing into the ground. Keep those pads pushing into the ground. Okay, so now what I want you to think of doing, come back to center, is lifting almost creating that pull into, imagine that you're casting a web like Spider-Man, alrighty? That sort of sensation. Just have that and imagine that you're in mud and you're just trying to pick up mud but your fingers aren't bending, you're just like that sort of feeling. It's definitely what Spidey does in Spider-Man. So just think of hoiking that floor away a little bit. That will also really help you. And actually generally when you're doing yoga, that sort of sensation, that sucker sensation will help you. And you'll notice that when some people do handstands, they really grip the floor. That can really help in just general yoga as well, is that sort of floor grippage. You really use those fingers. Alright, turn your palms over. So knuckles down to the ground, moving forward and backwards, side to side. Keep breathing. Good. Turn the fingers towards each other so the fingers are touching. Really push the whole, all the way from your top of your wrist, all the way to the fingers, push them into the ground. Okay, so now just revolve your elbow in and out, if you like, or the inside of your elbow in and out. So the wrists are staying still, and you're just revolving. Turn your palms back out the other way, draw your elbows towards each other, your forearms towards each other, and again, circling your elbows in and out. Keep going, keep breathing. Good, just working the elbows. Good, turn the other way now, so you're like a gorilla. Fingers in towards each other, circle, circle. Alright, come back onto the knees, shake it out. So you'll really feel that into those wrist areas. So this is a good stretch, this is a nice thing to do. Hang on. Let me just part my hair up into the sky. Alright, come down onto your forearms. Place your right forearm down, palm is facing up towards the sky. With your other elbow, push your elbow into the inside of your elbow. So you know that muscle that creates, you know when you can't control it and you squeeze and it makes your wrist automatically, like I'm not controlling my fingers. That muscle is the one that you want to get that elbow into. So find it. Yeah, there it is. The fingers curl without you being able to do anything about them. Dig your elbow into that. You'll feel that. Move the elbow, just small incremental stages down towards your wrist. And you'll really feel it. Oh dear crikey. Keep going. All the way to the wrist. You might find that it will slightly, my elbow's now sort of probably more towards the little finger side of that muscle, but equally, ouch, take it more to the thumb side. Ah, Jesus. Good, and while you're there, just plonk your elbow right into that thumb. You know when you now do handwriting and none of us can handwrite with a pen because our wrists and our hands are so weak. That muscle in there, get that one. Really put your elbow into it. Ah, jeez. This war wound, you probably can't see it, but I sat down earlier in the shower, or by the shower, and fell and scraped it on the side of the shower. Don't ask me why I was trying to sit down in the shower. That bit I don't have an answer to really. Half cleaning. You know when you're like mid-shower and you're like, oh, that looks a bit dirty. Alright, get the elbow in deep. Other side on, by the way, I forgot to say that. Too busy telling you about my shower antics. Good. Good, and then into that thumb on this side as well. Whew. Good. A few more breaths. Alright, coming back up. Finally, just stretch into the shoulders now as well. Like I said, remembering that your Wrists, your fingers are attached to the wrists, the wrist muscles, the wrist flexors come all the way up into the elbow, which comes up into the tricep and the bicep, so all the way up to the big muscles in your shoulders, rotator, you know, all of it's connected. So it's not just a case of strengthening the wrists and the fingers, but strengthening all the way up to the neck. Get it all working, get it all stretching. Alrighty, hopefully that will help you, and yes, maybe we can do it together and just get these wrists a little bit stronger. Thanks for watching. Make sure you come and join one of my live classes. They kick off tomorrow, March the 20th or something like that. I've got one I've got 11 o'clock, I've got a yoga kids and grown-ups class where grown-ups and kids get to do some balances together. It's just a half-hour fun interactive session. I've got a core blast at 1 o'clock, which is a sort of 25-30 minute class that's devoted to nuking your abdominal muscles. And then at 8 o'clock I've got a yoga and mindful meditation class. Also, what I'm running at the moment is these group classes. So if you have a group of pals and you want to hire me for an hour for a live session, because what we're really lacking at the moment is this social interaction. So grab your pals and let's make it a very fun interactive hour for you and your mates, but exercising as well as giggling. Thanks folks. See you later.